Thank you so much, Glenn, and Natalie, thank you. Well spoken, of course. You're absolutely right. No one has more skin in the game than people running their own business, and that's exactly why this year's Year of Action has got to focus on making the Territory a much better place to live, work, visit and invest. It's wonderful to be here this morning with you all, and thank you for taking time out of your busy days to come and hear about what lies ahead in 2025. Less than 6 months ago, an overwhelming majority of Territorians put their trust in the CLP to deliver change for the better. Today, I will outline how our government will deliver that change. 2025 will be a year of action. I'm joined this morning by all 16 of my parliamentary colleagues who represent the length and breadth of the Territory and who have hit the ground running, listening to Territorians and delivering on our plan. Thank you to my team for your hard work so far and your steadfast commitment to deliver our plan to make the Territory a better place for all. It's wonderful to see a room full of passionate Territorians eager to understand what lies ahead of us. We need you on this journey with us. If we're going to succeed in delivering a Territory that we can all be proud of, we must move forward together. Last week, we welcomed the Lunar New Year, the Year of the Snake, and it is said that the Year of the Snake is a year of rebirth and transformation. This is very auspicious given where the Territory is at right now. Just as the snake sheds its skin, ready for the next chapter, the Territory too can transform itself, renew, positioning itself ready for a better future. Our mission statement for 2025 is defined by 3 key attributes: action, certainty, and security. In 2025, we will deliver a critical response to our government's plan to reduce crime, rebuild the economy, and restore our beautiful Territory lifestyle. Last week, you may have heard my colleague, the Treasurer, and our Under-Treasurer set out a very clear picture of the Territory's debt position, $11.6 billion at the end of this financial year, and projected to hit $15 billion by 28-29, just a few years away. A debt legacy left behind by the previous Labor government. The financial position of the Territory is much worse than we expected and much worse than Labor would have any of you believe last year. To paint the picture, we have uncovered in the 5 months of coming to government $1.1 billion in unfunded project blowouts, including Tiger Brennan Drive, the Motocross GP track upgrades and the Holtz Youth Detention Centre, with no plan for ongoing operational funding of critical projects such as the art galleries in both Alice Springs and Darwin. Our Treasurer, Bill Yan, has outlined as a consequence of Labor's debt legacy the budget repair measures we absolutely must take in order to continue the services that Territorians expect and deserve. These include removing Labor's debt cap and capping non-frontline FTE growth. The debt must be a major wake-up call to every Territorian that we have to throw everything we have got at growing our economy and getting the Territory out of this mess. At a time when Territorians are cancelling their home and health insurance because they can't pay the bills, we cannot afford to have economically and reputationally damaging setbacks. For 6 years, our economy has been consistently the worst performing in this country, and the demand on government services outstrips our ability to deliver. We cannot afford uncertainty and confusion for potential investors at a time when public sector spending versus private sector spending is lagging. From June 2004 to June 2024, public investment in the Territory increased by a whopping 190.8%, while private sector investment increased by only 33.9% over that exact same period. We must change our course. We must chart a new direction. To repair the budget, contain expenditure, grow our economy and our population, invest in community safety, and become a competitive place to live, work, visit, and invest. We must, like the lunar snake, transform. And with that, I will now outline what that action, certainty, and security in 2025 will look like. This week in Parliament, starting tomorrow, we will proudly introduce the most important piece of economic reform the Territory has seen in a decade. Our Territory Coordinator laws will herald a new way of developing the Territory. It will give us a competitive edge against other states who have not undertaken the level of reform that we have. And it will signal to the world that we are a mature jurisdiction, ready and capable to play a role in the advancement of energy security through our abundance of natural gas, mineral security through our land rich in mineral resources and rare earths, food security through our vast agricultural opportunities, and defence security through our strategic importance in the Indo-Pacific. By March, the Territory Coordinator will be law. With the appointment of Stuart Knowles as our interim Territory Coordinator and ongoing Territory Coordinator from March, the work of the Territory Coordinator has well and truly already begun. The Territory Coordinator is not the only legislative reform needed to rebuild our economy. If we are to deliver certainty to investors, a decision must mean decision. Recent delaying of projects like Barossa, Singleton and Lee Point have damaged the Territory's reputation and economy. The time for lawfare and activists holding our economy to ransom is over. I am very proud to announce today that this week in Parliament we will introduce legislation to remove third-party merits review from the Northern Territory's Petroleum, Planning and Water Acts, giving third parties with no specific connection to a project the right to ask for a new decision once the approvals have already been given ends under this government when we move to pass that important reform next month. It is clear that this recommendation of the 2018 Hydraulic Fracturing Inquiry Report is not being used as intended and does not actually do anything to protect the environment. Since 2020, there have been 18 third-party merit reviews against decisions under the Water Act alone. Examples of some of the Territory's key projects that have been put on hold due to third-party merit reviews include Fortune Agribusiness's horticultural development at Singleton Station, which has been delayed for nearly 4 years since the original decision on the water extraction licence was made all the way back in April 2021. There are currently 2 reviews underway to challenge the approval of environmental management plans for onshore petroleum activities. These both cost the Northern Territory Government, its proponents, and the reviews cause immeasurable time, money and reputational delay. The Northern Territory Government, for example, has already spent $50,000 on the latest 2 third-party reviews, but those costs are well and truly expected to rise and are ongoing. Cost to project proponents is significantly higher and, of course, includes scheduling delays. The cost of having specialised equipment like drills sitting idle at $100,000 a day is no small price, not to mention the missed opportunity to bring revenues online. According to the Minerals Council of Australia, a 1-year delay alone can reduce the net present value of a major mining project by up to 13%. For a large greenfield mineral project of $3 billion to $4 billion in value, that loss can be up to $1 million a day. Our government, of course, continues to support a robust, safe and well-regulated onshore gas industry, and removing third-party merits review does nothing to change that. Proponents and applicants will still retain their merit review rights, and the common law right of judicial review will remain. In November last year, I stood up the Approvals Fast Track Task Force, chaired by Mark Garraway, former chair of the Property Council. I note Mark is here today, thank you. The industry representatives that make up the task force will provide advice to our government on how to reform regulatory processes and reduce approval timeframes for small and medium businesses. To date, the task force has met 5 times and is actively engaging with business and industry. It's already identified a number of tangible actions that will form part of their final report to government by June 2025. We look forward to acting on their recommendations to make sure the Territory is a great place to do business. We're also backing in business this year with big tax savings. Tomorrow in Parliament, we are set to pass our payroll tax cuts. On 1 January, our payroll tax waiver started, and come 1 July this year, the payroll tax-free threshold will not only lift from $1.5 million to $2.5 million, but all apprentice and trainee wages will be exempt from that threshold. This is the first time in 13 years that there has been a reduction in payroll tax for small and medium businesses. And as a government, we could not be prouder to back in the private sector with less tax and more money back in your business to grow, diversify, take on more staff and invest in rebuilding the Territory. Payroll tax cuts is our government's way of supporting you to support us in achieving a growing economy. This major reform gives us a competitive edge, making the Territory the most attractive payroll tax jurisdiction in the country. We are sending a message to all Australians: come and run your business here. In 2025, we will also establish a governance framework for Middle Arm so that we can progress with the planning and development of this industrial estate. I note my friends put a nice full-page ad in today's paper about Middle Arm if you haven't seen it yet. Our homegrown Territory housing program will continue to run until 30 September. Currently, more than 400 applications have been received, which will deliver a significant boost to our construction industry right over the next 18 months, and it will importantly secure more people to put down roots here in the Territory. This scheme is again the most competitive first home build scheme in the country. Come and live in the Territory. It has already conservatively generated $87 million through our property market, representing $2.6 million in grants paid out so far. And we know how important connectivity to the Territory is, which is why you have seen a trifecta of aviation announcements from our government in the past 4 weeks. These new services and increased capacity include Jetstar direct flights from Darwin to the Gold Coast. Air North is flying Alice Springs to Cairns, and Indonesia's Air Asia is linking Darwin to Denpasar. All routes give Territorians and tourists access to major international airports. We are focused on pursuing more aviation services coming into the Territory and will work hard in this area. We know how important it is for our lifestyle, but also for facilitating business. On reducing crime, it's no secret that Labor let crime spiral completely out of control. For the Territory to have a strong economy and a growing population, law and order must be dealt with head-on. Our plan to reduce crime in 2025 builds on the back of our reducing crime laws that we passed in the Parliament in October last year, just 6 weeks after the August election. These laws expanded knife-wanding powers for our police, importantly delivered Declan's law and stronger bail, new nuisance public drinking laws, mandatory sentencing for assaults on any Territory worker, and new ram raid and post and boast laws. These new laws and our strong backing of our fantastic police has supported them to put an additional 500 criminals in prison since the August election, putting the rights of people to be safe above the rights of offenders. Our newly established and now permanent Fugitive Task Force has seen over 100 high-risk, high-harm offenders who have been on the run arrested and taken off our streets. That policing intensity will continue. This week in Parliament, I will put forward more laws that increase the powers of our police around powers of entry and drug and alcohol testing. There are currently 3 constable recruit squads at the Police College, which is fantastic, and we will welcome 29 of them to our ranks as they graduate on the 7th of March. Our police retention bonus, which will start on the 1st of July, will ensure even more police stay in the force and on our streets, protecting Territorians for longer. I'm very proud to report that our police attrition rate has already improved and is now the best it's been since 2019, but we know there is a lot more hard work to do, and we will do that work. Police retention is the fastest and most cost-effective way to increase our police numbers, and we're determined to support our police to keep our community safe. We will also implement a remote police infrastructure plan to help us map out as a government where our investments are needed for police. This is to make sure that politically motivated projects like Natasha Files' $12.7 million Nightcliff Police Station, which is actually just an office building with no cells and no watch house, never happens again. We know there is much more work to do to reduce crime across the Territory, but I can assure you we will not rest. Crime statistics are published monthly for all to see, but the real measure of success for us is when Territorians feel safe. There will be action in 2025 to give certainty and security to our courts and to corrections, which also plays a vital role in community safety. Our Corrections Infrastructure Master Plan, which we launched last year, has already produced an extra 160 adult male prison beds at the Berrima Correctional Centre, and almost 100 beds are about to come online in Alice Springs Correctional Centre. Our police and our corrections officers are doing an exceptional job in what I have to say is unbelievably difficult circumstances, courtesy of a total lack of investment by the previous Labor government. Planning for our new women's prison, 2 new youth boot camps and 2 adult work camps is well underway. And this week we will pass legislation on urgency to allow the Corrections Commissioner to bring in corrections officers from interstate to help reprieve our police and our corrections officers who are spending their time acting as a taxi service between our courts, between our watch houses and between our prisons and hospitals, and we will make sure we provide them with the resources they need so that their job is on the front line, not acting as a taxi service. Our courts have been tasked to work harder, longer hours, and we've put on 3 more judges. We're working to drive efficiencies through the court process with expanded audiovisual conferencing and a range of other measures. In 2025, we will make our hard-working prosecutors permanent to secure their jobs and expertise in the Territory on behalf of victims. If you can believe, under the previous government, we had prosecutors on rolling 12-month contracts. We have provided an extra $5.2 million in funding to Legal Aid to make sure that offenders are represented, because this makes our courts work better. We've also promised to address the root causes of crime, and this will be a big focus in 2025. This year, you will see that strong focus on youth justice with a rewrite of the Youth Justice Act already underway to ensure there is mandated programs, diversion and early intervention. We will balance that need for community safety with creating real pathways for young people to turn their lives around. We said we would focus on getting kids to school and off the streets, and we are already delivering on that commitment. Last year, we launched our new school attendance officers, and this year we've already expanded that program with 47 school attendance officers now in action right across the Northern Territory. Parents who deprive their child of an education will be held accountable. They are breaking the law and they will be fined $370. Labor might have looked the other way when parents were depriving their children of a future, but we will not. The care and protection of our children is the most important priority. All children deserve a right to grow up in a home where they are safe and clothed and fed, can get a good night's sleep and be able to attend school. Culture cannot be put ahead of the safety and welfare of children. We make no apologies for changes around the care and protection of children to make sure that safety is always our priority. There has been an 82% increase in domestic violence assaults in the last 8 years under Labor, 82%. We have to change what we're doing. This year, our government will spend $36 million in domestic violence measures. And we'll be expanding our circuit breaker program, which has shown really positive signs in its early days. In Alice Springs alone, circuit breaker has consistently delivered 4 to 6 youth workers each night out on patrol, picking up kids and working with our police, and has had a 100% strike rate of following up with families within 24 hours of coming into contact with those children, resulting in 40 family responsibility agreements. This is how you hold parents accountable. Status quo is not an option for my government. We have not been elected to do what Labor did. We will spend money right and in the right areas and hold people accountable for spending taxpayers' dollar. We know that alcohol is also a major contributor to domestic violence and to crime in general. And this year we will review the banned drinker register and begin consultation on our brand new model of compulsory alcohol treatment. This is on top of the positive results we've already had with our new nuisance public drinking laws. This year we will also commence important consultation in the bush on empowering bush communities through local government reforms designed to return greater community control and strengthen service delivery for Aboriginal people in the bush. Prior to the election, a well-known and much-loved ice cream store in our CBD shut down, and there was outrage. It had become too unsafe in Darwin to run an ice cream shop, let alone take your children there. I'm very happy to see that John John's Ice Cream is back open, and I'm even happier to say that I've been able to take my young family there several times since it reopened. But we know there is still so much more work to do to reduce crime right across the Territory. But we have shown Territorians through our actions that we will get it done. When it comes to restoring our beautiful lifestyle, we're starting with cost of living. We know that families are really hurting. Car insurance is up, home insurance is up, and groceries are up. And when budgets are tight, that means there's less room for people to get out and enjoy our beautiful lifestyle, our tourism and hospitality businesses, our unique experiences, and our amazing attractions. But to Territorians, we say to you, we're listening. As promised, this year our government will deliver a suite of measures that will save Territorians time and money, because our government understands that at the moment every single dollar really counts. This includes free driver's licences, 3-year trailer registration, free swimming lessons for all primary school students in years 1 to 6 right across the Territory, free meningococcal B vaccinations for all babies under 2 and adolescents aged 14 to 19. Our homegrown Territory grants are supporting people with up to $50,000 to build their new home and go importantly towards their deposit. And we've doubled the rooftop solar battery bonus. Many of our cost of living measures only actually began on the 1st of January, but already in just 6 weeks, we're seeing a huge uptake in these schemes, which shows us just how much it means to Territorians. For example, we've seen more than 12,000 Territorians take up the free driver's licences and more than 600 families access our free meningococcal B vaccinations, which is wonderful. We've also got 56 schools already booked in for their free Term 1 swimming lessons and life-saving lessons for our kids, and another 87 schools are booked throughout the rest of the year, with more to come. This year, we will also see our government take steps to secure our lifestyle for the future. We will preserve what makes the Territory so special and so unique. From expanding our parks and our recreational spaces to bringing back pet croc permits, we're ensuring that the Territory's natural beauty and unique lifestyle are protected for generations to come. Because if you can't own a pet croc here in the Territory, where can you? It's a crying shame. We've fixed it, don't worry. Fishing, hunting, camping, these aren't just activities for us. They're a way of life here in the Territory, and we're committed to expanding these opportunities for all. This year, we will also amend the Anti-Discrimination Act so that religious schools can prioritise same-faith teachers, and we will remove the ridiculous inclusion of offending someone as if it's some type of discrimination. It's these activities that I spoke of earlier that I enjoyed as a child, and now I'm lucky enough to enjoy with my own family. The Territory is my home. It's where I grew up, and like many of my parliamentary colleagues, it's where my dreams were shaped, where I was given the opportunity to achieve my aspirations, and where I've chosen to raise my young family. As a third-generation migrant, I carry with me the resilience and hope of my grandparents, who arrived here with little more than ambition in their hearts and determination in their hands. My parents instilled in me the values of hard work, community, and determination. most of all, in the pride of being Territorian. Growing up in Palmerston, my life was shaped by our iconic lifestyle. Afternoons spent playing cricket in the street, camping on long weekends, fishing, and counting down until goose hunting season. These experiences, alongside the values instilled by my family, gave me a deep love for the Territory and a determination to see her thrive. That's why I'm proud to stand here today, presenting our plan for the year ahead. Less than 6 months ago, Territorians made the right decision, and we will not let you down. A government's job isn't to overpromise and underdeliver. It is to create the environment where everyday Territorians are inspired and empowered to achieve their dreams and aspirations for the future. We look forward to 2025 and are full of hope and optimism. In 2025, you will see us delivering action, certainty, and security for all Territorians. Thank you.